Men have Reddit how the TF do you shave your balls? It's easier if your balls are cold, so then they're in a perfect ball for you to shave. But assuming you're doing it in the shower like a normal person, you gotta stretch the skin out without slipping and cutting your fucking nutsack and groom across it like a rake. Then I like to hold them from the bottom like holding a chicken, also called a cock, no pun intended, head, and shave the hairs you missed. The real tricky part is shaving the little crevices between your ballsack and groin, cause you gotta wedge in there and kinda stretch your leg out so it's a straight shave and pray you get it all. I don't, the way I see it, I don't care if a lady has hair down there, she could have a full-blown bush and I'm still going bushwhacking, so I'm not a hypocrite if I don't shave down there, and shaving down there is a bitch. I also don't care if I do or don't get head, so the few times it's been an issue I just told her she doesn't need to go down on me, I'll still go down on her. I may occasionally take a trimmer to my shaft and pubic mound just for a change up, but I don't touch the balls. Hair on my balls is thin enough that they don't look like Wild Thing from Barnyard, so I'm chilling. Takes some time, but this is what I do. Go to your preferred supermarket and purchase the following: Ziploc bags, cable tie, anti-wrinkle cream, Red Rock Deli honey soy chicken chips. Empty the container of anti-wrinkle cream into the Ziploc bag, slide the bag and contents over your balls, carefully tighten the cable tie until the bag won't fall off. Wait 4 days. Now the wrinkles are gone, it is a lot easier to shave, it will look like 2 polished eggs if done correctly. Any questions, send quickly as I'm going to prison in a couple days. Keep on shining. Simple, I don't. I think that shaving your balls isn't necessary except for sex appeal. You want your tree trunk to look bigger, then go ahead and shave its leaves, but it doesn't provide you any more benefits than that. A woman who loved you probably won't care at the end of the day, so just decide for yourself what you want. I'm just here to say that, compared to societal norms, it's perfectly fine if you don't want to. It is simple. You brush the razor up and down, cut yourself, start bleeding out crazy, start thinking you cut your penis off, die of heart attack, wake up and see it was nothing much, just a scratch, continue and repeat. But seriously, it is nothing hard, we just shave them like we would shave any other body part. No extra knowledge or philosophy needed. At least I don't need any extra knowledge, or philosophy. Magic Shave Cream works a treat. Available from Amazon. Designed for black men who suffer from razor bumps. It comes as a powder. You mix it up with water, spread it all over, scrape it off 8 minutes later. Then wash. A couple of caveats. It smells awful. And for crying out loud, do the skin test like it says on the tin. And if you do your butthole, your farts will be thunderous. Otherwise, it works great. I use a couple of cock rings to hold the skin tight over the balls, makes it easier than pulling tight with your hand. Then you have one hand to shave and another to love them around a bit so you can be careful with the sensitive bit. Then pop the rings off and deal with the easier bit of shaving under where the rings were. I don't shave mine. I get a Manzilian wax. The lady I go to gets everything. She starts in the front, goes to the balls, then she gets a butt crack. I go every 4 weeks. It's $90 and I give her $30 tip. I figure she deserves a nice tip for looking at buttholes all day. I couldn't do her job. No way. I don't have hair on my balls. My crotch, yes, and the taint, sure, but not my balls. I also have no stomach hair and only a very light, slow-growing dusting of chest hair. I think genetics is a big part of this. Somehow, I've managed to dodge this particular bullet. I don't. For one, I'm not an ape and my balls don't have a fur problem, general rainforest however is lush. Secondly, I'm an adult and we grow this stuff. I'm not interested in pretending I'm prepubescent. Good luck shaving a giant rosine though. Don't hear me out. It's not worth the hassle and pain for such diminishing returns. Just buy an electric trimmer. For example, Manscaped is actually pretty good and try to get as close as possible. I think it is functionally nearly identical and way less painful. I think shrinkage helps create a more workable surface. Otherwise, you'll get caught up on a couple of hairs that'll stretch the whole sack. Once that breaks free, the rebound can cause scraping. That's less likely when everything is tightly shriveled up. I have the Sentiment hair removal cream, specifically for stuff like this. No razors needed, just a few minutes of time to let it sit and work the hair out and then use the included plastic spatula to scrape it all off. I don't feel a thing with hair removal cream called Nads. Just when it's time to take a poo, rub it all over Nads and sit down and take a dump. After about 12 minutes get up and jump in the shower. Just melt away the cream off our balls and put on our balm. Trim as much as I can around the balls with an electric trimmer, and for the ball sack, I know this sounds crazy, but dry with a quality disposable razor, seriously like nothing, just dry balls on dry metal. And then moisturizer, electric razor with a guard if your hair is long to get the jungle tamed, then follow up with a safety blade to get a smooth finish. There really is nothing like a shorn scrotum, it's breathtaking. I suggest you try it. In the shower I get it to like a semi for better handling, and just go all around with my Gillette after some shower gel for glide. Ain't perfect, but for the effort me and my wife are both happy with the results. Not a man, but my husband uses a Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 and says it's great. Target has a bundle that comes with the clippers, charger, different blade sizes, bag and anti-chafing stuff to help with that. The easiest method you'll ever find. Don't just trim loose extra long hairs with a trimmer or a pair of scissors, and call it good. Haven't yet found a woman who complained that I have hair down there. Hear me out. I just don't shave the area that wrinkles together. BC, if you do, the stubble gets prickly. No bueno. Itches like mad. But usually if you want to know, you fuck around and find out. Cool face. Face your razor at your body and go from up to down. Stretch to your skin and grab your penis with one hand. Make sure there is no soap on opening hole of penis, or else you will be having nightmare. If you ask my opinion, I do it just like a gardener shapes his bushes with long cutter. Instead I use a scissor, but be very cautious, you are very close to ending or the best. Get a razor with as many blades as possible. Women's Venus razors with like 6 blades work wonders. Then just use notions that always keep blades perpendicular to the motion and you'll be fine. I find that using a good quality electric trimmer helps a lot. You can get pretty close without too much risk. Just make sure to keep the skin stretched tight and take your time. Get a trimmer that's specifically a men's pubic hair trimmer. Mine was $35 bucks. Pretty solid. You can trim your pits with it too. And your face for a perfect 5 o'clock shadow. People are making this sound like it's difficult. A little soapy water and a decent multi-blade razor are all you need. I've tried my electric downstairs and it's not great. Helps when the air is a little cold. BC, the sack is not all wrinkly. I feel like it is much easier to use a razor on the firm cold sack than on the wrinkled bean bag of sperm. Doesn't matter how good the trimmer is. Always shave carefully. I heard balms are good for skin treatment after. I think you can get entire elaborate kits just for balls. Get a little hard and cool the shower water down a little so your sack tightens up a bit. Use a little shaving cream, and a sharp razor, and things are quick and painless. Electric shaver with the smallest safety guard on it. You can still nip yourself if you're careless, but the safety guard pretty much almost eliminates that as an issue. Pull the section you're shaving taut, and shave like you would anywhere else. While the tissue is delicate, as long as you're not trying to cut yourself, you'll be fine. Well, Emo single blade safety razor is the way to go. I am quite good with tools. I use a barber razor. Don't recommend it. Cuts a lot if you're not used to it. With a cartridge razor and a gentle hand. And if you want a more lasting solution, laser hair removal, male Brazilian. Apparently, they can laser your balls. You ever tried cutting chicken skin? You can go pretty quick and rough with it. This is assuming it's warm and stretchy already and not cold and shriveled. Like this. Razor, shaving cream, and being slow and careful. That's all there is to it. Ignore these other clowns telling you to use an air or electric buzzers. I use a mirror and focus my laser vision directly onto my nuts. For some reason my skin is immune to my heat vision, but my hair just vaporizes. Either pull the sack to make it tight, or grip the top of the sack to force the balls down to tighten the skin. Then use a Phillips 1 blade. Shaved genitals is a bad trend emo. If your bush is unruly, trim it a bit, sure, but shaved is weird and seems to have a PETA porn vibe. The same way I shave my turkey. Grab it by the gobble mechanism and just start thrashing away at its jugular. Pretty simple, really. I don't shave my balls, my hair, my face, or mustache. I do trim the mustache every so often for consumption of food purposes. I've never once had trouble with a razor. It's the trimmers that mercilessly shred them up. I'm looking at you, Manscaped. I will never get a knife or a razor near them, period. I would trim if my girlfriend wanted, but thankfully she does not. Hot water and a safety razor is the best way. When I got my vasectomy, my urologist complimented my thorough shaving job. Get a body groomer, even if they cut you very rarely you won't feel it unlike a trimmer. We all know that mean tiny burn. PFFF, that's a young man's game. Over 30 you might as well cute your throat with a rusty spoon, it would be less messy. Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 is a revelation. Works in the shower, has a light and is very resistant to accidental cuts. Philips One Blade. But it just trim mine. I'm pretty furry all over, so if my bits are bald, it looks kinda odd. Use a trimmer with a long guard. It won't be shaved bald, but it gets close enough without getting too close. I take a super cold shower so my balls shrivel up and the skin gets nice and tight. Then shave them. Don't use electric. Just a 5-blade razor. Go hard, I swear it's impossible to cut yourself doing it. Pull cock upwards and slowly and carefully shave bit by bit from the angle the balls are stretched. I put glue on the ground and just place my balls on the glue, then stand up as quick as I can. Warm water will make the skin smooth. Then just stretch the skin a little bit and go slowly. Hit it with a lighter and scrape the short and curlies off with a credit card or a no-did. Thumbs up. Very carefully. You gotta pull the skin taut. To be honest, I'm thinking of trying Nair. I dunk my nads in Nair like my skin doesn't absorb 2/8 of the shit I smear on it. Sharp, fresh out of the box razor. Soap any body wash can do, and just shave it out. The TF? Someone spell that out for me? I'd get out TF, but how the TF? Philips Body Groom. Doesn't nick or cut and leaves your plums lovely and smooth. Very try Nair for men for private areas, way safer, just smelly. I just have? You get a nick sometime, but not usually. To know if I'm weird now, I got that green Philips Norelco thing. I just got it. Takes like 5 minutes max. With a regular razor and not very carefully, still no cut, so I guess it works. Basically pull the top of my sack up to stretch the skin out and shave away. My wife bites it with her teeth. Sometimes they get stuck in her gap tooth. A single razor and soap to lubricate the balls. Hair wipes off smoothly,